Saab 9-3 review. Yes, I know, a first drive of a car that has been around for longer than some of the showrooms from which it is sold. But despite being in its 9th year, the 9-3 has been given some minor, but worthwhile, tweaks. From a shopper or fleet manager's perspective, significant among the changes is that the range has been simplified. There's no more Turbo Edition, Vector Sport, Linear SE and the like, now there's just SE and Aero, which is far more straightforward. On SE models, such as our test car, come a new design of alloy wheel and new ice block headlight treatment, grille and bumpers. Plus it now says Saab instead of having the Griffon badge at the back. Not a lot, then. Inside, there are some changes to seats and trim, plus some additional equipment for the £24,120 you'll pay for this model. Which, given that it delivers 158 bhp and still, to my eyes, looks fairly classy, leaves the Saab appearing conspicuously good value next to, say, a similarly powered Audi A4 or BMW 3 Series. The question is, of course, whether the 9-3 can still cut any mustard on the road. And let's be honest, regardless of how many tweaks it gets on the way, 9 years is a long time for a car to be on sale in this business. In the compact executive segment, in fact, it's virtually unheard of. But, as I settled down into it, on a driving seat that proved too high and too close to the dashboard for several of our testers, I think it's not all bad. The quality of construction and materials is okay, although the green-on-green displays are looking a bit tired and pixelated. Things have moved on here in quite a big way. The engine, a twin-turbocharged, 1910cc diesel, spins into life with a bit of a clatter. It's not Vauxhall insignia loud, but most diesels from a couple of classes below comfortably leave it behind. Still, the gearshift is positive enough and all the pedal weights are progressive and natural. The steering is light, too, and the 9-3 is an easy car to get along with in that respect, quite Swedish. While some German car makers like you to feel the engineering and weight behind the controls and load them with heft, the 9-3 strokes along very easily. Less relaxing is some turbo lag and high gearing. At least it means this 9-3 returns a quite creditable 119 g/km of CO2, which makes it a compelling draw alongside some of competitors in the 130 to 140 g/km bracket. But at anything under 2000 revolutions per minute the 9-3's motor is unresponsive, and because it's geared generously for good cruising economy and low noise levels, you'll often find yourself dipping a gear lower than you'd like. Even on a motorway I found myself dropping down to 5th if the traffic slowed at all. Typical third gear roundabout exits call for second. Despite that, the 9-3 isn't unpleasant to drive. The alloys are stylish and leave their tires wearing a 45 profile, which is almost generous these days, so the town ride is compliant. Motorway ride and stability are also good and wind noise is low, while the steering remains light but reassuring around the straight ahead. That compliance means the 9-3, despite the sport wagon title, isn't going to drive around the outside of too many other estate cars. It's not a particularly engaging steer, so there's not much to be gained by driving enthusiastically. But you know what? I think that's okay. I warmed to the 9-3 far more than I expected to. It feels compact and straightforward, slightly out of its time but pleasant to be around and not unlike a Civic in some respects, smaller than the newest cars, but no worse for it.